In Episode 2, before putting him into the arena for execution, Dooku offered Obi Wan the position of his apprentice, promised together that they could destroy the Sith, referring to Palpatine. Obi Wan refused. But what if Kenobi knew more about Sidious's true nature, and decided that Dooku was in fact the lesser of the two evils? What if Obi Wan joined Dooku? Since this happened after Obi Wan called for help, Anakin, Padme, and the droids still come to Obi Wan's aid. Windu still leads the Jedi Strike Team, and Palpatine is still given emergency powers. We start with Anakin and Padme together in the arena, having just kissed in the tunnel, except they don't see Obi-Wan. Anakin and Padme stare at each other long, then turn their attention to the Reek and Nexus coming after. However, since Obi-Wan isn't there, neither is the Acolyte. Similar to the movie, Padme is able to remove her cuffs and climbs to the top. Anakin, noticing this a lot sooner than he did in the movie, attempts to do likewise and is able to get one cuff off before he's able to dodge the Reek charging at him by moving sideways. He then uses a mind trick much earlier and immediately uses the Reek to save Padme from the Nexu before she is clawed. Noticing there is no longer a threat to the two, the Separatists release the droidekas surrounding them. After a brief hesitation, Anakin has the Reek charge at the droidekas, destroying the two directly in front of them, and has it turn to face the others, who put up their shields and begin fire. Anakin, unafraid, chooses to have the Reek continue charging, and it takes one more droideka before the others put it down. Using the Reek's corpse as cover, the two hide behind it, trying to stall for whatever little time they can. At that moment, Windu reaches Dooku, sees Anakin and Padme in danger, and jumps down without an exchange with Dooku. Dooku immediately sends the droids in to attack. As the other Jedi continue to pile in, Windu goes back-to-back with Ki-Adi-Mundi, similar to what he did with Kenobi in the movie. Without the Reek Alive to interrupt, the Jedi form a circle earlier than they did in the film, with a handful of additional survivors. Fett never entered the arena due to the early death of the Reek, and therefore is still alive. Dooku then calls down to Windu, similar to how he did in the movie, and again Mace rejects the offer of surrender. Dooku then reveals that Obi-Wan has already agreed to join him. Both Mace and Anakin refuse to believe this, as they remember Obi-Wan being a pillar of light. Dooku then calls for Obi-Wan to step forward and explain the situation. Obi-Wan walks up beside Dooku and Fett, but before he's able to explain, Yoda leads the clone army attack, this time on a more distracted droid army. In the Separatist war room, when Dooku asks how the Jedi came up with an army so fast, Obi-Wan explains everything about the clone army. Dooku, surprised it was Sifo-Dyas who ordered the army, notes that with such a large threat, it's best they retreat. Meanwhile, in battle, without Kenobi to issue the order to attack the Federation starships, said starships escape. Also without Kenobi to point him out, Anakin and the others don't see Dooku, meaning they do not battle, and Anakin keeps his arm. Dooku escapes with Obi-Wan, and when they reach Sidious, they inform him that the war has begun. When asked about Kenobi, Dooku states that he'll be someone else to put on the front lines of the war. Sidious is even happier than in the original, because now Obi-Wan is an ally, instead of an enemy.
But dude, Palpatine would know Dooku's plan. I'm aware. I'll get to that later.
Yoda and Windu then meet afterwards, and like in the movie, agree to keep a closer eye on the Senate, and state that the Clone Wars have begun. They also wonder, with Obi-Wan gone, who will train Anakin, and who else is capable of falling to the dark side. In private, Obi-Wan reminds Dooku that he promised they would destroy the Sith together. He expresses doubts that they can take down Sidious, saying that he is too powerful. Dooku then promises to train Obi-Wan and states he does have a second plan. After some hesitation, Obi-Wan reluctantly agrees to be trained.